Two peas, yo. Two peas, my beloved brothers and sisters, my poet and poets. This is El Gargain, and this is Cookie World of Fashion. Yo, we with you live today. After a successful turnout, a heaven sent event that transpired on April 13th with yours truly, El Gargain. You see, today I'm draped in the holy cape, you know what I mean? And got my wings on my feet, like, you know, like Hermes or Mercury, other known as the Lord Buddha, you know what I mean, or Divine Buddha. You know what I mean? We blessed today. So I just want to give y'all an update on what's going on with our progress and let y'all know that I'm feeling the energy. You know what I mean? All the support that we had Saturday. You know what I mean? The event was like mind-blowing. And I'm not even talking about, you know what I mean? Sometimes you can look at events and you look at the quantity. I'm talking about the quality of the event. The quality of the event was so mind-blowing that all the necessary dots was crossed. You know where I'm coming from? So when we play connect dots, that's the game of the issue we played on that day, because we connected so many dots, so many loose ends was brought back together. Like one of my dear beloved brothers, you know what I mean, Lou Newtunes, you know what I mean? Yo, go tune in at Lou Newtunes, man. That's my beloved brother right there. We go back to the mid 90s, to the end of the late 90s, you know what I mean? Going to Eternal Speed, Live, Cheetah, Club New York. Now I mean, we performed in concerts with 1288, Moving Weight. Now I mean, he came on the block, St. John's, come to my barbershop. You know what I mean? Him and P, we used to be in the barbershop with St. John, Hats Off Enterprise, yours true only, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? With the God, our son. So we was like, you know, we was really patrolling the streets, the kingdom, as sublords, as we should. You know what I mean? So I want to support and give a couple of shout outs to those who endorsed us in the event. Shout out to International Goods. Also, you see I'm rocking it on right now from head, you know what I mean? Got the cape on, International Goods, got the, you know what I mean? Got the foam, it's wings on by International Goods. We repping it to the T. I mean, I want to shout out to Happy Monkey, shout out to Coke Boys, you know what I mean? So we have adventured and entered into a holy space of our own. And that space itself is undeniably ours, because we put that work in to be able to entertain, to be able to engage in a sphere of commerce with ourselves. That's the ultimate goal. That is the story and the idea, what we was talking about, established in writing New Building Kids. Because the new building is what we got to build, man. It says that he said that he would die, and on the third day he would rise. It said that just like that would happen, a building will be destroyed, but will be rebuilt in 3 days. Well, brothers and sisters, if we calculate from that time that temple was destroyed in Jerusalem, that was 3,000 years ago. So if a day measures 1,000 years, as with the Lord, as with us, then that's 3,000 years ago. So isn't it time we get on a high horse and build that building and network with ourselves? Stop looking for the blame game. Stop looking for I'm going to put my finger over there and then use that as an excuse for why there's no networking going on, why there's no community network going on, why there's no commerce network going on. This is El Gargain's Cookie World of Fashion. Look at me. You know I'm laying it down. You know that. Bong. I mean, I got the P used a different bro, but you know, I got the Chanel bros holding it together. You know what I mean? So the event was heaven sent. Now I mean, I want to shout out to Courtney Brown of the Source. Now I mean, for hosting it with International P. Check it out. Now I mean, this is New Building Kids Age of Cracking Volume 2. And this is St. John Pole Posse Volume 1. Now I mean, it was an extravagant event of fair. Now I mean, it was blessed. The mics that night was blessed with artists such as Nimrod. Now I mean, shout out to Nimrod from Wu-Tang. Shout out to him. Shout out to, you know what I mean, Prince Julius. Shout out to Is Hoffa. Shout out to Dutch Stacks. Shout out to Pressure. Shout out to Thomas Money Paperboy. Shout out to Rack Glow, the Low Lives. Shout out to Bill Miner, North Bandit. Now, I mean, yo, the mics were blessed. I mean, it was blessed. Shout out to DeMarco the Great. The mics were blessed, and DeMarco the Great had on the Kookie Madonna. Y'all gotta see that. The fit. And he had the leather scouts on, the leather scout jeans on. Looking it lit. You know what I mean? Thomas Paperboy had the, you know what I mean, the Black Adam of St. John's G Light. Know what I mean? Cookie Monster on. Know what I mean? Bill Miner had the legendary Kookie on with the inspired Louis Vuitton you know, garment piece with it. You know what I mean? El Gary and Louis Vuitton collab. You know what I mean? Yeah, my wife's bag. That's my wife's bag. I took her bag and made a hoodie out of it as well, along with the hat. So you know what I mean? So the Bandit had an opportunity to come out in that. You know what I mean? So like, yo, it was peaceful because of the productivity. You get where I'm coming from? We had the host, International P and Courtney Brown holding it down. We had Felicity Seymour's. Felicity, you know what I mean? That's Courtney Brown's daughter from the source. And her daughter literally went to live in Africa for a whole month, yo. To study the agriculture and the botanical development of how they get to see Mars from actually underwater in Africa, literally. So you can't even play games, you know what I mean? So we have people that's really tuning in, working. We had merchandise from Turkey. You know what? Turkey was the first, you know what I mean? Turkey was the first caliphate actually from modern times before Saudi Arabia was. Turkey had it in smash for a minute. Had the caliphate in smash for a minute. The Ottoman Empire. Y'all don't know what it is. Y'all know what's going on. A lot is going on in the collab. We had Toya from Bougie Blazer. She had her products out. You got to see the glasses she had on, and she was sharing with us that night. Now I mean, we had Rack Low with his low life apparel, his pins, his bags. Yo, it was lit. We had Nick with the food. We had the jerk chicken, the stewed chicken with the peas and rice. Yo, we definitely had an enjoyable moment, a peaceful occasion, but it ain't over. We didn't even get to post everything yet. We didn't even get everything back yet, but the event was a success. I couldn't do it by myself. It took you, the people, to put it together. So I hope you, the people, understand why we here on this channel on Cookie Monster World of Fashion all the time on Tuesday and Wednesday. I mean, Monday and Tuesday, trying to get you to understand, yo, we're not just a product. Every item that we have to show you is a building block for success. And we're trying to show you what it takes for us to get to that next item to be able to share it with you. Now, I mean, so you can understand our development. When you understand our development and you become a sponsorer, an advocate, and a proponent of what pieces we put out there, these become your tools for economic enterprise, for free enterprise, for independent enterprise. Because we can't do it without you. And no, you can do it without us, but it's not me or the us. The us is us as a collective. We need those who have the ideas, and we need those who are proponents of those ideas. And that's what this is about, man. Cookie World of Fashion, yo. Know what I mean? I kid you not, bro. We here, know what I mean, fashioning it up for y'all, so y'all can understand that, yo, this is what it takes. Because, you know what I mean, the you in the kingdom, they don't want to see no vagabond. They don't want to see no muskrat. They want to see someone coming out clean bean. You know what I mean? Not no scheme. They want to see somebody clean. They don't want to see no fiends. And what we showing you today, look at this. Crispy. Everything crispy. Crispy holy cake. You know what I mean? Crispy. This is crispy. You know what I mean? It's a garment and it's warm. The material is luscious. It's plush, luxuriant. You know what I mean? And got the helmet length sweats on to hold me down. Got the Moschino, the gold Moschino fit on top with the Louis, the first Louis billionaires on. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean? We repping for you people. We repping. And that's the key thing, man. The rep. And like I said, man, I appreciate all those who collected the book for me. Because, you know, people wasn't just getting the new volume. They was getting the pairs. And they were autographed too. So, like, me autographing him, it was a blessing. Allah is the greatest, God is the greatest for allowing me to have the opportunity to be able to autograph something that I took time out of my life to write down, to give an epic dissertation on what I deem was a journey in my life that should be shared with other people, because everything I put in those 2 volumes were a mental therapy session for me. Each chapter was a session of mental therapy, because this is something that is very needed in the Black community, which is mental therapy. And I feel that once you begin to read and understand that when you're looking at our titles, St. John Polo Policy gave rise to a nation, it's like a double entendre, because it's not talking about just the past. I keep trying to remind y'all, it's talking about tomorrow. How is tomorrow? Because it gave rise to a nation. We're talking about a nation that is about to rise, that is rising. So what I'm giving you as the first step is the ability to know that, listen, look at these tools. Look at these chapters as each chapter is a tool or a utensil that you can use something from there. Like in a shed. You know, when you go in your backyard, when you get your new house, you got a shed. You go in your shed. Look at the book as a shed. And in the shed, you have what? Your tools. You have your farming tools, your botanical tools, your mechanical tools. You have your household hardwares. And these tools you use for different purposes. So look in the book and find out from the age of 12 to 14 what tool you need to help someone in that range. That 12 to 14 is like a garden. So in that garden, you got to be able to learn how to fashion it to make it a bountiful garden from 12 to 14. Then from 14 to 16 is the next garden. So this garden may be a little more on the tree side. You get where I'm coming from? Growing coconuts, growing mangoes, and growing peaches, growing apples. Might be a cherry tree back there. But this garden may not be a tree garden. It may be a vine garden. Growing grapes, growing tomatoes. You understand? Growing onions, growing roots, beets, carrots, roots. So it's different plantation live, a vegetation that we can grow in these gardens. So when we're looking for words of wisdom, this is how we gotta look for it, as though we're looking for fruits and vegetables. This is why when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teacher taught him, he said to him in the Supreme Wisdom book, he said, "You are my nation of Islam. You are the lost found nation of Islam. My men shall be called in those ranks the fruit of Islam." Islam is like that mathematical generator. What it generates? Formulae. You see? So that formula that's being generated could be multiple equations. Because you got division, multiplication, addition, subtraction, algebra, calculus, trig. It's different forms of math. It's different ways, fractions. It's different ways, decimal system. So it's different mathematical things you can use to get different equations. This is how we gotta be with our people. We have to understand that just because you have a certain religious name or a certain religious organization that don't mean I can associate with you. One brother told me, he said, because of your religious outlook, I can't do business with you. I said, wow, what? I said something to offend you? Nah. Just because of the way I'm a Christian and you should be Muslim, I don't want to deal with you. So he automatically adopted the crusade event and took himself to be a crusader fighting against Lord Saladin in the 11th century. So he said, I'm Christian, so a Christian is supposed to be at war with Islamic with the Muslims. So we can't be friends. But that's not your war. That wasn't your war. And the same thing in the fashion world. We have to understand that we have brands, then we have brands that are independent brands. We have to begin to build our own, nothing wrong supporting the other cities and their castles and their kingdoms, but you have to know how to build your own kingdom, support your own castle. And then we can learn how to make multiple castles. Like in a game of chess, when you're playing castle, you move over. But we can do the same thing. We can support different castles. This is who rules the castle. You have your dukes, your earls. They rule the castles. So you can have multiple castles. You can have multiple, what you would call, they call them, what they call it, in that time of the economy, it was called, the economy wasn't called, it was mercantilism, but it was called, oh man, I forgot the name. Somebody help me if they remember the name, but they used to call, the landowners, the land, it was, wow, I'm so mad at myself, because it wasn't capitalism, it was, serfdom. In serfdom, you had people living in houses, wooden houses, or living on the land, and they would actually run the land for the earl or the duke inside the castle, or the lord that lived inside the castle, and they would keep a portion of the fruit and vegetables of the earnings that they tilled over, and give the nobleman, the noble or the lord, his portion. And this is how they would live and survive. Then they would take their portion and bring it to the marketplace, and then divvy it with the merchant. Get their little PC, the merchant would take it to the marketplace, make his money, and make his profit. So it was 3 levels going down. We can do the same thing. If you want to get some product from El Gargain or International P, and you know you can actually get it all or be a proponent for us, holla. Don't be scared. Be a vendor. This is what economic is about. We got to generate currency and commerce. We cannot be sitting here and acting like we don't have no one helping us. I've seen other people, organizations, sit there and say they went 8 years and nothing happened. Nothing transpired. How dare you say you're doing something? How dare you say you're a leader if you can't make currency for your what? For the people on your garden, for the people in your land. You have to present to these people opportunity. And these opportunity presents itself inside of their what? In their technical know-how. But you can't tell somebody, if you have no technical know-how, that, oh, I have to be in charge of you. And all your technical know-how, you have to let my members take over it, and we'll tell you what to do. It don't work that way. It doesn't work that way. An organization cannot function correctly if you have no technical know-how, and then you invite people in, but all you want to do is contractualize them and then tell them they can't do nothing without your permission. And now you become what you would call a hedgehog bully, because you putting hedges around everyone that's trying to make what you call capital to be able so that you can have functions and events. But a function and event can't happen if there's no technical know-how of producing a product or an item like in the garden. You have to have your apples, your carrots, your cabbage, your tomatoes, etc., 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 your pears, your fruits, your vegetables to give to someone else so they can take it to the marketplace. You can't tell that person how to be in the marketplace now. It's not up to you to tell that person, oh, make it this price, make it that price. No, you have to ration to yourself in your organization. This is what we need to pay our bills. So we can make it for this price. Now we have to find someone inside of our body or someone that can link with us. When you form in an OSHI, which is organizing, it's like, I can't remember, youth organizing subcontracting in New York State. You get these contracts you bid for. Then you have subcontractors. You can't tell your subcontractor what he could put the price for things for, or how he gonna get paid, or how he gonna make his funds. It doesn't work that way. You license him his agreement. He takes his agreement and put his price on what he's being paid for to make funds suitable for his people to eat and survive. This is how we got to run our organization. So if you can't function in the regard without having an ego because you feel this person making more money than you because he had the idea and the wherewithal to be able to economically reach a certain horizon that you couldn't reach, you can't now, oh, I'm not giving you nothing no more because I'm not dealing with you. I'm gonna tell my people to cut you off now because I don't wanna associate with you because you're going outside the brand. You're not listening to me. You're not following me. My brand is what I'm saying. That's it. It don't work that way. Macy's is this brand, but you know how Macy's got started? At one time on 34th Street, it used to be a bunch of vendors in a square. it was no building. They all had what you call wagons. They would form like a wagon train. And they would all sit there, break these migrants that migrated to America. They had their own skills. And they would sew their stuff together, whether it's shoes, the watchmakers. They would all sit there and produce. They would go home, produce their stuff, and then they would bring it back to that square, and they would sell that stuff. They would sell that stuff. And then while they were selling that stuff, Macy's and other people would come and be like, you know what? What about, they made an agreement. They said, what about if we relocate you temporarily and we build a structure here, infrastructure here, a building, and we give y'all space inside the building? Would you cooperate with us? And then we make some funds from there. You know, these people agreed, and this is how you got Macy's department store right now, and it's called Federated System. Federated System means a bunch of different people coming together, forming a union. And then forming that union, now they got it federated. And what's under the Federated System? A&S and A&S, Macy's, Stearns, Haynes, Bloomingdale's. You have what else? It's Lord & Taylor's, B. Altman's. All these stores, Alexander, Sears, they're all under the Federated System, all under it. And what happens is the different vendors appeal to them, and they pick out who should get what. Macy's wasn't known for having hardware, lawnmowers, refrigerators, ovens, and all that stuff. They had that stuff in some department, but they wasn't focused on hardware and all that stuff. So the mechanical wear, hardware. So Sears focused on that. JCPenney's focused on that slightly. Other stores focused on those things. You get it? So they would go there for that particular merchandise. And you would go, when you wanted the top premium brand, you didn't go to Sears and Alexander's or Stearns. Where did you go? You went to where? You went to Macy's and where? Bloomingdale's. You went to where? A&S. See, you went to Lord & Taylor's. You went to B. Altman's. This is how we got to function. Not everyone going to make that iron-on t-shirt. So when you have someone that come around that can make embroideries, who could make Chanel pieces, fine cotton pieces. All right, brother, I don't got that, but I got someone I can send you to. So now you make that link because now you federating yourself. So in federating yourself, you know, well, I can't afford to purchase and then resell those type of items, but this is the item I got. So I'll be the Sears on this level, or you'll be Modell's on that level, and the other person could be Herman's. But you have to get out the ego, swing of ego, what you can't do. You can't be the middleman for everybody. You have to work on your level, on your plateau. And then you let someone else step up that can handle that ball game, that can handle that extra baggage that comes with the more luxurious material, the more precious items. And this is what tears us up, even in the music industry, and even in the art industry. No, we can't keep this. And it's like you have kids that grew up on the block watching watching and understanding the depression and oppression of how society governs itself, but yet and still, you still will fight your own brother that you grew up with since elementary school, and you don't want to kill him. You don't want to form no unity with them. And you see them making progressive and prosperous moves that you see is productive, but you still would go back behind them, and then you would lambait him, and you would try to set a trap for him to fall, so you could sit and laugh and get a drink and a smoke of drugs off of your brother's pain and struggle. How dare you? And then you want to bring it to the internet, which is not even yours? If we had to pay for Instagram and pay for TikTok and pay for YouTube, you would not see these bully pulpits at all, because they couldn't afford to pay a bill for $15 a month. They're like, oh man, I can't afford that. I done seen brothers who came and paid $7 a month for a bill. This is outrageous. Some brothers can't even pay $9.99 for a bill a month. So this is outrageous. When you have those who can't afford it, support that platform. Go to that platform. You might, if you bring your little 1,000 or 100 followers to them, you might increase your foundation because you're showing your followers that, yo, I know how to network. I know how to find what you need. So look, I don't got this, but go to that person right there. So now they know to go to you because you know who to go to. You the go-to man now. You don't got to be the middleman. Be the go-to man. Like, okay, now you know how to direct traffic. Direct the traffic, stupid. You can't be the dealer sometime. Like, you know, remember, like when we, like New Building Kids, Age of the Cracking. One thing about this book, we're talking about the crack cocaine era. But I, as a child, I've learned so much from that crack cocaine era. I've learned how to pattern the way I was distributing the drugs at that time, the narcotics at that time, into business now. Like, it was just, all right, let me tell you about Rusty, right? Lilliput. Lilliput was wise before his time. He would catch on to this guy named Cisco. It was Cisco he would use and Myrna. He would use them, right? And he would go, because it was a spot, it was a dual spot. In the daytime, it was early in the AM, it was a heroin spot. But at nighttime, it was a crack spot. And in the mid-afternoon, it was a coke spot. So it changed throughout the day to cater to the customers that were coming through at that time. So he would go during the dope spot hours and get Cisco. Because Cisco smoked crack. He didn't shoot dope. So Cisco, while he was selling crack, Rusty knew he was there at that moment. So Rusty would go talk to Cisco. Cisco, give him a couple of pieces of rocks. Say, yo, when you get off tonight, I want you to send me not the dime smokers, but send me the 8-ball and a half-8 smokers. And I got you when you off. And he said, when you on in the spot working, and someone asking, they want to do they want like a half-8 or a half-8 or 8-ball, send them to me real quick. So he would go interrupt another person's spot, but he didn't stop their progress. He would say, yo, I'm not interrupting. I'm stepping on no one else's feet. I'm asking you, I'm going to pay you because you can traffic them to me. So I learned that. So if I don't got something and P got it, I'll traffic you to P. You get where I'm coming from? I would traffic you to someone else. I'm not going to sit here and try to hold you at bay and put you under my foot and then go to someone else and be like, yo, and then come to you and then make you have to sign a contract with me and you be under me, but I don't got what you want. I can't satisfy your needs. So after a certain amount of years, brothers and sisters, if you see your organization doesn't have the wherewithal, you need to step up and ask them to subcontract some of those endeavors. If you're a Christian, like let's use religion. If you're a Christian and you're studying the Bible, you need to subcontract someone who can speak Hebrew. And that is partial to Arabic too. So that they won't teach you to hate the Arab world because they're Hebrews. See, look, there comes emotional attachment with things that show prejudice. So when we gotta understand, we are under the colonialistic rule of the 13 colonies. These 13 colonies made a compact with the colonizers, Spain, Italy, France, and England. You have to understand that. That's what the 13 colonies work for, those colonizers. And that's where the nation they came from. So in understanding that, they made system of network with them to work. We gotta do the same thing and understand that when we understanding these scriptures or these religious texts we're reading, we have to understand what baggage comes along with it so that we won't take on baggage that will put us in visible change. Won't put visible shackle braces around our brain cells so we could allow to work and function and breathe underwater when wisdom get heavy. We could function still. We won't be claustrophobic. Meaning, a lot of brothers and sisters have claustrophobia when they're dealing with the economy in America. What you mean by claustrophobia? I mean, when they get in an elevator, they freak out when they get crowded. Your planes of thoughts is like being in a crowded elevator. And when you're in a crowded elevator, a lot of you tend to panic. This is why you see them lashing out so hard, our religious groups, our brothers and sisters, because they don't understand that they have reached a ceiling in that plane of thought that they're on. And they don't know how. No one has gave them mental therapy on how to just get off the elevator. Just get off the elevator. Catch the next one. Or take the flight of stairs. Work out a little bit. Working out means go do some studying, man. Or if you want to get another elevator, go on another plane. I'm trying to tell you. Go get with someone else that can mitigate the situations to you of what you're trying to study and learn. Who can facilitate, make it easier for you to grow as you are in your skin without you abandoning yourself, putting yourself with further weight on yourself, putting further mental distress on yourself. We need to be able to relax but grow at the same time. The intensity we need is not intensity of stress, of worry, or hatred. It's the intensity of thinking mechanically. When a mechanic bumps into a problem, he figures out that, oh, this size wrench don't fit. It's another size wrench I got to get. If I can't get in that angle, let me get one of them angular wrenches. Then one that can turn upward. Then I can turn it this way. They learn to get a different tool. So my large brothers, same go for you. See? So if you there learning, please learn in the way of not just paying to go to a function, paying to give charity, thinking that's the way you're getting wisdom. No, that's not the wisdom. Learning these haikus, learning these rakas is not just paying for it. It's experiencing the ordeal of what it's for. That's why it's called free. Because you're operating without a physical hammer. You're operating without a physical level. You're using mental gymnastics to determine how to leverage your fervent way of getting wisdom. And then taking that wisdom and using the application. Knowing how to turn something that's rough and awkward into something that's graceful and a blessing. This is El Gargain, Kookie World of Fashion. For those who just joined, right now, you know what I mean? I got on the Holy Cape from International Goods. You know what I mean? If y'all interested in acquiring one of these Holy Capes, these are this is our traveling warming kit, particularly for your sisters and young brothers that travel internationally, travel nationally, domesticatedly. You know what I mean? You on a plane and it's cool. You know what I mean? Just take this blanket and boom, it's a hoodie blanket. You just put it on, bang. When you on the plane or you in the you in the airport and you waiting, you doing a layover, a heavy layover. Cause you know sometimes when you be traveling, particularly going back for LA, you be having them heavy layovers in Orlando or Denver. Yo, get one of these woman kits, know what I mean? You represent International Goods, know what I mean? We carry you well. Know what I mean? You got your foam slippers, oh man, it's so comfortable. Know what I mean? You sink into them, know what I mean? Or just check out www.elgargain and go check out our cookie and marshmallow foam slides, know what I mean? Or our Cookie Monster hoodies to give you some comfort. That's what we got to do, man. We got to help our people and find different ways of helping them. Like I just told you, look, thinking about the airport, this is what you call utility thinking. You know people rock certain things. You know people wear certain hats. Explain to them what kind of hats they need to wear in certain kind of weather. Not every hat can be worn every weather. Why would you want to wear a corduroy hat in the rain? You're going to destroy it. The rain going to, like wearing a black Burberry hat with the Burberry stripe fisher hat in the rain. You know in reality, even though you could go fishing with it and all that, but if you constantly wear it in the rain, you know what happens to that hat? The rain, acid from the rain, what you would call, it destroys not the fabric, but the color tone. And it turns purplish black. Yeah, man. So you gotta learn what materials to buy and what you want to serve, man. You have to be a servant, man. That's the thing I be trying to let brothers and sisters know. Get up off your high horse and serve. And serve in the right way, man. If it's Ramadan and you in the hood and you know a lot of brothers and sisters is Muslim or Islamic or is trying to go that way, don't be in broad daylight giving out water. Talking about you trying to cure people of dehydration and this last 10 days of Ramadan, the night of power. You don't do that. Be smart. Google, brother. Google, sister. Don't go out there talking about, oh, I'm giving people pork chops during Ramadan, talking I'm helping to feed the hunger, but it's Ramadan. If it's after 7:30, when the sun set, then you go bring out your water. Now I know you helping because you're being wise. Now you helping. But you don't be 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow. You're giving out bottles of water during Ramadan. Are you insane? And to be honest with you, plain water does not hydrate you, sir. This is why you have different kinds of water. You look at the blue cap, the black cap, the yellow the yellow cap. That'll serve purposes. Some water don't have electrolytes in it. So how it's gonna hydrate you? All it's gonna do is make you pee. That's it. Make you urinate, and then that could give you urinary tract infection if you're peeing too much. So you don't even know what you're doing. If you want to hydrate somebody, you're supposed to take their little money, save it, and buy some Pedialyte, buy the icy Pedialyte ices, and give it to the brothers and sisters when they're coming out the mosque. Or wait until mid-July, when it ain't Ramadan, when it is hot outside, and buy the Pedialyte ices. Or if you want to be more naturally herbalistic, go buy some good Polish Spring water, right? Boil it or soak it with some lemon, lettuce, and cucumbers. But get lime instead. Lime, lettuce, and cucumber. Let it soak. Then make little jars of it. And then give that out. Now you're talking about helping people. Now Now you're hydrating people. But don't give me this nonsense, this $2 water you're buying. $2 for 24 dozens, for 2 dozen, and then you giving it out and you ain't doing nothing to people, giving us damn toilet bowl water that was just put in a damn plastic jar. Cut it out. You're not helping nobody. And you're violating the sanctity and the sacredness of Ramadan. Stop it. Cut it out. Cut it out. If you really want to talk about stuff, go study. This is what I mean. Go study. If you're going to Google it and study it. Go thoroughly through it. Don't come give us this half-concocted stuff. Don't fashion some concocted thing that you're trying to experiment on the people because someone inspired you and you want to think you're doing the right thing. No, first find out if you're helping the community, literally. Find out what's going on. Find out. This is what for all the brothers and sisters that are independent owners. Find out. Oh, happy Black Women's Month. Let y'all know April is Black Women's Month. March is Women's Month. April is Black Women's Month. Y'all need to know these things. You understand? You have to understand, when you're dealing with marketing, I've learned from those who sharing knowledge with me, you have to learn every season has its own thing you celebrate. So they have what you call calendars. What's on the calendar for this month? What's on the calendar for this month? What is people celebrating? What is people practicing? Then you will understand how to deal with different people. But you just can't come off cock and think any idea you come through is going to be certified and genuine. No, it's not. People need to be actually scrutinized. This is why in the Holy Quran has a surah called discrimination. The surah is what surah is that? Surah Al-Furqan. Surah 25. It's called the discrimination. Al-Furqan. This is where the word Farrakhan come from. Farrakhan. He is one who has a discerning eye. A view. He has a discerning viewpoint. So everybody gets stuck on perception, but forget about perspective. What is your perspective of how you're going to help? Because helping is not endangering me. Helping is what? Giving me the supplements that I need to survive. You're supposed to be giving me prescription for me to survive. Don't prescribe me foolish pills of placebo. And we've been getting a lot of placebos lately. Stop the placebos. But anyway, man, let me get off that high horse and get back down to Cookie Roll of Fashion. Know what I mean? Anyway, man, at the event, man, we had DeMarco the Great sporting the Kookie Madonna, yo. He looked it so ill performing, and he looked it so urbanizedly fashionable. He could have took that same outfit and hit the runway with that. He could have hit the Grammys with that. He could have hit the BET Awards.